So somebody had sent in the question about what to do for intrusive thoughts or OCD. And the context of that being that I get severe anxiety that manifests as claustrophobia only when I'm pregnant. So I think there's a hormonal aspect for me there. So I was, she asked what I would suggest that she do for that. Now, I want to say by way of introduction, if you're having severe symptoms of anxiety, if you're thinking about harming yourself, if you're thinking about harming others, if you're having horrible thoughts of horrible things to do, please seek professional help. You need professional help, and you need something a lot more serious and effective and hardcore than anything I would talk about here or suggest. And I say that because I have seen this. Wonderful people can have these episodes, especially moms, as we go through the ups and downs of having babies and childbirth and breastfeeding. There are so many hormonal upsets. Are you going to eat my hair? Are you going to eat my hair? That it would not be impossible to experience something like that. So I'm only talking about the kind of anxiety that's mild and that only affects yourself as far as you're uncomfortable. You're feeling panicked and uncomfortable, but you're not actually in any real danger of harming yourself or others, if that makes sense. So as far as what I take for that, I like to use homeopathic things because they are safe for breastfeeding and pregnancy. And the homeopathic things that I take work a lot better at preventing things and preventing episodes than treating them once they happen. So there's kind of a difference there between things you can take for preventing it and then things that you can take for addressing it if you do have an episode. So the things that I like to take for preventing it, the first one is a supplement by the company Boiron, and it's called Stress Calm. And these are homeopathic supplements, and you can take these on an ongoing basis, or if, say, you always have anxiety at bedtime, that's one of the ones that helps. Another one is by Hyland's, and Hyland's has different cell salts, and the one that kind of combines them all is called Bioplasma. That one's also very effective and can be taken on an ongoing basis. And another thing that's more of a nutritional supplement, that's not a homeopathic remedy or anything, is magnesium. So magnesium is a nutrient that really is needed for every aspect of the human body, but it particularly helps with the muscles and muscle recovery, but also helps with anxiety. There's one popular supplement that's called Stress Calm, and that's kind of a powder that you dissolve into a drink. And that's one thing you can do. I personally prefer, I don't like that one because it contains stevia. I personally prefer to take a liquid calcium magnesium supplement. And the calcium magnesium supplement I take is one of the few that, in spite of being liquid, does not contain any preservatives. So it's Blue Bonnet brand, and they have liquid calcium magnesium. And that's the one that I use and recommend. And if you take that just before bedtime, it also has like a detoxing effect because it basically sits in your gut and kind of, just because it's so chalky, it like draws out toxins and things like that. So that also helps with anxiety. Now, these things are just for preventative. If you're actually having an episode and you can't calm down, there are two things that I use, and one is over the counter, and the other one is actually a prescription medication. So the one thing that helps with acute anxiety and attacks is a product called Rescue Remedy. And it's usually comes in some sort of yellow packaging, whether you do the drops or whatever, you'll know it because it comes in yellow packaging. It's called a Rescue Remedy. And the one I use is the kids formula because that's what I have in the house for the kids. And because it's glycerin based, not alcohol based, it tastes a lot better. It doesn't burn. So that works sometimes if you're having an anxiety attack. But again, if it's something severe, that might not work. And then the other thing is a prescription. And I was given this prescription when I was in Germany, and I did not think I could make it home on the plane without having an anxiety attack, and I didn't want to be put in handcuffs or something. And the doctor over there prescribed me promethazine. promethazine is not an anxiety medication. It's actually an anti-nausea medication. And it is frequently given to patients before surgery so that they don't come out of surgery from the anesthesia throwing up. But as they were giving this to patients for surgery, they noticed that it has a side effect of calming people. And I don't know if that's because, like, it relaxes your stomach or whatever, so you're not getting nauseous. Maybe, that tenseness that you have when you have anxiety, so it resolves that indirectly. But it's very effective for that. And doctors prescribe it for that. Now, the reason why it's good is because it's a fairly mild drug. It's not a psychotropic nausea medication. And it's very safe. So you can take it when you're breastfeeding. And the side effects are very mild. The side effects is that you might get a dry mouth. And that really is like the main side effect if you experience one. Another side effect is that you might get drowsy if you take the full dose. But for myself, that's been very effective. And I used that to get home from Germany. And then I have since then, before we flew to New York, I got a prescription for it just in case I would need it. But thankfully I didn't. Now, if you need anything beyond that, like I said, if you're having thoughts of harming yourself or others, or you're not able to overcome it just with simple things like that, you will need to seek professional help.